For a day that was supposed to be horrendous visibility and we thought we were going to struggle to find fish, it was anything but that.
Good morning, welcome back to the channel. My name is Daniel Mann and welcome to an exceptionally sunny morning here on the south coast of England. Today I'm very late for the tide, diving with Andrew Gom, and we'll see you in the water that is presumably very, very dirty.
During spring in the UK, a plankton bloom hits once the water reaches around 11 or 12 degrees Celsius. This makes the visibility horrendous from anywhere between 2 to 6 weeks. We were right at the tail end of it on this day and had very low expectations for finding any visibility. When the visibility is poor, I find using a GPS a great way to save yourself some time looking in the wrong places. But the water actually looked okay.
Visibility is actually surprisingly much better than expected. The last time I was here, maybe 1.5 meters viz max. It's horrible.
With loads of birds working bait balls, we had high expectations for this being a fishy dive. After several dives to 15 to 20 meters without seeing much, I finally found a lone fish that I wanted to spear.
I hadn't seen too much for the last couple dives. Just sat there waiting at about 17 meters and one black bream just came straight in, had a look. Perfect shot. Hopefully there's some bass around as well.
Now this is what we were looking for. Large boulders for the bass to hide under and pollock milling about. I decide to go for one of my favourite species for fish and chips. A nice pollock to add to the stringer, and Andy had been busy looking in holes.
Oh, it's a great fish, mate. Nice one. First bass of the season?
Yeah, it's heaps fishier down here. Right?
Heaps fishier, mate. I just saw pollock and shoaly, schoolie bass as well. Nice rocks too.
Back down to see if I can find any bass for myself. You can see the stringy remnants of the bloom in the water here. Only wrasse in here, but I'm being watched.
Jeez, it's fishy. Andy snapped a band on his gun, so we're just sharing the gun now. But the tide's starting to pick up, so we don't have a whole lot of time left. But lots of fish, really nice fishy area. Even some bass coming through on the surface, eating the bait.
You don't see as many pollock closer to my regular dive sites near London, so I was happy to put another on the float.
It's fishy there, mate.
Yeah, right. That's what it's done.
I reload the gun and it's Andy's drop. I didn't quite follow him fast enough, so end up on top of him. I can see something has got Andy's attention, so I head back to the surface so I don't spook any fish.
Far out, mate.
What?
You scored that one. Show me that. Lift it up.
What?
Show me your shot.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's not bad, is it? Called him Dead-Eyed Dick Andrew. I didn't see the bass, but I saw a bream, and it's like pollock swirling everywhere. It's just fishy. Crazy. Carriage is really starting to pick up now. We have to hold on to the float to stay in position. I think we've got 1 or 2 dives left, but certainly a healthy stringer.
I knew the bass probably weren't in the area anymore, as the birds had long since moved on. Sitting at around 19 meters, I spot a standout pollock from the shoal. As with every fish I spear, I immediately brain and bleed to maximize the eating qualities.
Hey? For a day that was supposed to be horrendous visibility and we thought we were going to struggle to find fish, it was anything but that. Look at that, mate.
Now back in the kitchen with our stunning pollock. This is a really nice size for the area. I want to try something a little different other than fish and chips, so I'm going to be trying gravlax. Now, gravlax is a northern Swedish dish which involves curing salmon with salt, dill, herbs, spices, vodka, and you slice it up and put it on crackers for breakfast. It's sensational. Lax is actually the Swedish word for salmon, so that's where the word gravlax comes from. But this one, not something I've ever done before, but going to give it a try with a white-fleshed fish. I'm going to start by taking the fillets off this fish, but I'm going to leave the scales on. That's important for this recipe. So up under the pectoral fin, these are really easy to fillet these fish because they have lovely soft skin and small scales. So just straight down the backbone, over the tail like that, and then follow the spine and the vertebrae down like so. Very easy. And one thing that I've been asked a lot is why don't I gut and scale my fish all at the water? Well, I guess it just depends on what I'm doing with the fish. This particular one, I'm taking the fillets off, so I don't need to gut it necessarily. I just have to be careful when I come here over the ribs, not to pierce the gut cavity. So very simple. Coming over the ribs. Through there. And not piercing the gut cavity at all. There's a little bit of blood there. May perhaps not have bled it quite as well as I wanted, but there is one stunning pollock fillet. Now I'll do the other side and we'll come back here. What I want with this pollock is 2 pieces that match together. They book match from either side of the fish because we're going to cover the flesh side with all the spices and put those together, wrap them tightly, weight it in the fridge. So I'm going to take the rear section of the fish just a little bit above where the tail is, so I have 2 nice, fairly even thickness slabs of meat. The next step is to make the curing mix, which is very easy to do. It is just salt, sugar, dill, some orange zest, as well as a little bit of vodka. Also, if you'd like to support the channel and grab yourself a Dive Everywhere t-shirt, diveeverywhere.co, much appreciated. 1 sugar, 1, 2 shot of vodka. Honestly, this curing mix smells amazing. The dill, the orange zest, the sugar, the vodka, it just smells so good. I cannot wait to see what this pollock turns out like. The next step is to lay some cling film down and then put our fillets down, lather this mix all over it, sandwich them together, and then we will wrap it up tightly. Now all we do, stick another bowl on top to keep the weight and pressure on, leave that in the fridge for 24 hours, 48 hours, we'll see. 36 hours later, here we are. Now what you can see here is all the juice that has come off, that's been extracted by the sugar and the salt. So I'm going to discard that. I've actually been draining this over the past 36 hours, but I think it's pretty well cured now. And there we go. You can see that it's actually reduced in size a fair bit here. Just going to brush all this off like this.
I like to cut it into thin slices like so, and then lay it down on a nice plate with some extra dill sprinkled on top.
This is our finished cured pollock. Very delicious. It's a very delicate fish flavor. There's salt, there's sugar. The orange and the dill go together so well, but my absolute favorite thing to do with this stuff is stick it on rye bread with some horseradish sauce. Here is my breakfast. So delicious. If you've never tried this, I implore you to do it. It works really well. I'm sure there's a fish in your local area that you could try this with. If you're worried about parasites, freeze the fish for a couple days before you do this recipe. But if you like this video or you got something out of it, please give it a thumbs up. It actually makes a difference. Subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you on the next adventure somewhere.